grade, I want to say, was when I really got interested in programming. Um, like I said, we didn't, computers weren't super common when I was younger. They had just started showing up in people's houses on a regular basis. So when I was a little kid, I didn't even know that programming was really a thing. No one really talked about it. So when I kind of discovered it, it was about eighth grade when I started really trying.
What's the next big thing, like devices and games in programming?
What's the next big thing? That's hard to say. Part of that comes actually from one of the things within the video game industry that is, we're very secretive about everything that we do. A lot of companies don't like to talk about what their next thing is. They don't want everyone finding out about it beforehand.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's a pretty big step right there. Back when I was in grade school, we still had textbooks and we had a couple of rooms with computers, but we didn't use computers on a daily basis. You had to take special classes to have a computer. So I think using internet technology is really great. I think, you guys having the internet at your fingertips is really important, actually. One of the things that's actually really changed with regards to learning programming is that, it used to be you had to go out and buy these books that were, they were huge. They were, this thick. You could barely wrap your hands around them. They were so big. And that was how, you learned how to program, was from these giant books. Now you can go online. You can actually just go on Google and search, C++, how do I assign a variable? And you'll end up with 20 websites. People write tutorials, they put them online. There's actually a really important website that we use almost every day here called Stack Overflow. And it is just a giant, basically kind of a giant forum where people can post programming questions, and other programmers ranging in levels of experience get to post, their responses. So I think that, you guys having the technology that you have in the classrooms right now is really great. It's hard for me to imagine what kind of technology could be missing that you guys don't have with with access to the internet. You have a lot at your fingertips that, is going to really help you learn a lot of different things. Complex question, because yes, it is difficult. It's something that takes a lot of experience and a lot of knowledge and creativity. Programming ultimately is really about problem solving. You have a problem and you need to figure out how to get a computer to solve it. So it's kind of like doing a really complex math equation. You know what you want the result to be, but you have to figure out what components you have to put together in which order in order to get in there. You want your answer to be 10, but what number are you going to add together to get there? Is it going to be 2 and 8 or 5 and 5?
Or in an actual game store?
I have. I've actually been involved with making 2 different games. One was in the Google Play Store. It's called Tanks for the Memories. I think you can still find it. It was actually started out as a school project that I was working on, and when I ended up working at a small game company, we ended up making it into a full game. So you might find that on Google. I also was involved with designing a game called Tumbleworms, which is a really interesting word puzzle game, and that I believe is available on the Apple App Store. And then I worked on a small 2D platforming game called The Sun at Night, which was on Steam. So if you do any Steam games, you can actually find that one. And those were all with my previous company that I worked for called Minicore Studios. We were actually a very small studio that actually helped found and start with some other people, and we made a couple of games. And unfortunately, we weren't able to keep ourselves viable as a company. We had to shut down, which is something that happens with video games. But it was a great experience. I got to make some really fun little games. So if you guys have any interest in any of those, I think you can still find them. And there you go. That's a really hard question. The short answer is everywhere. And that comes from it comes from a lot of different places. One of the best pieces of advice I got from a really experienced designer was, if you want to be a really great game designer, learn all you can about the history of games, going back even as far as old board games like chess, and a lot of old card games, those sorts of things. Those are important, but also, a lot of video games are about story. And so learning about the history of story and storytelling, the human history, myths from across the world, Greek mythology, Asian mythology, African mythology, all of that comes into creating and designing games. And so where inspiration comes from is kind of up to the individual designer. And you want to pull from as many resources as you can when you go to design a game.